Hey, this is a plant profile that I've been testing out at locals for a couple of weeks now. At my recent locals I went 3-4 with it, and this is more a build which is made to annoy than win, but this is my own variant on it. So, for the obvious plant lineup, 2 Lone Fire, Dandy, Spore. Except instead of sticking to the E-Dragon build where it's just those 4 plants, I also run 1 Talia, Princess of the Cherry Blossoms. Now, she's my favourite out of all the plant princesses because she gains 100 for every plant type monster on the field, and including herself, so she's already, when you summon her, a 2/9 body, and she's great Dracosac material since she is a level 7. Then I also run my 3 copies of Gigapalnt. This is one of the old-fashioned monsters, which is a Gemini monster. So when it's Gemini summoned, once a turn you can special summon 1 plant-type monster from your hand or grave. Usually I will use it to bring back a Spore or my Lone Fire. And then for the final ones to cut off my plant, I run 1 Fallen Angel of Roses. Now, I only run her so I can return other plants, like remove a token to special summon a 2/4 body, just to make Dracosac material. Then I run 3 copies of Crane. This was a card released in one of the older structure decks, but it lets me bring back my level 3s for Exceed material. Then 2 copies of Card Trooper. This deck mainly works by sending plants to the graveyard and then using Gigaplant to bring them back. Then 1 copy of Striker, Debris Dragon, Redox, Gauze, Tangrisnir, which most of you won't know what it does, but when it's destroyed by battle and sent to graveyard, I can special summon 2 tokens, level 3. And then to cut off for the rest of the monsters, I run 1 Golfax. Now, the reason why I ran Tangrisnir and Golfax were, when this is destroyed I get 2 level 3 tokens, and then I can use Golfax to summon my level 7 Power Tool Dragon. That cuts off for the monsters, and then for the spells, 3 DDR. This is mainly used to bring back every banished monster which I use for Spore or Redox. And then 3 copies of Supervise. Now, it reads, can only be equipped to a Gemini monster, and the Gemini monster gains its abilities straight away, and it's got a nice ability of, when it's sent to the grave, now not destroyed, just sent from the field to the grave, I can bring back any normal monster from my graveyard, which would only be my Gigaplant, since that is the only normal monster I run in this deck. Then 2 copies of MST, 2 copies of Miracle Fertilizer, lets me basically Monster Reborn at the cost I can't summon for the rest of the turn. Well, normal summon. 1 Scapegoat, Dark Hole, and Foolish Burial. Now, I mainly use my Foolish for burying a Lone Fire Blossom. I rarely foolishly bury Spore. I usually just wait to draw my Spore or just go off with my plays with another tuner. Then I run 2 Wall of Thorns. This is a Mirror Force for plants. Then 2 copies of Pollinosis. It's a Solemn Judgment for plants, so you tribute it, tribute 1 plant on the field and it negates a summon or a spell or trap, and then 3 copies of Call of the Haunted. Now, some of you might think Gauze and Call don't work together, but this kind of deck, you'll be surprised at how many times I've brought out a Gauze even after I've used my Call of the Haunted, because this deck just clears back row very quickly, or just uses Call to bring back a big monster for a bit. Then for my extra deck, I run, for my level 7 Exceed, 1 copy of Master of Blades. I prefer to use this over Dragozac or Big Eye because most decks target now and Blades can just get past it. then 1 Ptolemy, 1 number 20 Gigapalnt, 17 Leviathan Dragon, and 10 Tempo. Now, you might see that I don't run melee because I don't like using melee in this build. This build is just to annoy, and the Tempo I use because it can get past Ophion, which is a real pain in the ass for this deck. Then for my synchros, I run the newest level 10 to this deck. I can't remember its name. Leo, Keeper of the Sacred Trees. Now this is another annoying card because once it's brought out it can't be targeted, so it can't be bottomless, it can't be dim prisoned, you can't fate it, it's just there, and your opponent's either going to have to waste a lot of resources to get past it, or they're going to have to waste a Trenchal or Dark Hole just to get past one monster that Redox can bring back. Then 1 copy of Blades, Stardust, Black Rose, which I rarely ever use it for its nuking ability. I mainly end up using it for its second ability, which is banish a plant in the graveyard to change a defense position monster to attack and make its attack 0. Then 2 copies of Power Tool. These are used to search for my different dimension reincarnation and my Supervise. Then Catasta, Armory Arm, Mistbird, and Formula. That rounds up for the extra deck. And then for finally, the side deck, 2 Fossil Dinos, which I keep to all the time. I always side 2 Fossil Dinos. 1 Princess of Autumn Leaves. Now I side her out sometimes for my other plant princess because when she's destroyed I can special summon 1 plant from my deck, or while she's on the field your opponent can only select her as an attacking target. I side then my second Fallen Angel just in case I need it for decks that go a lot quicker. 2 Swift Scarecrows to prevent OTKs. 2 deck lockdowns for Boojin matches. 3 Trap Stun just in case I'm going against Evil Swans that go back row heavy or any other decks that go back row heavy. 2 copies of Gozen Match. This annoys quite a lot of decks and have locked down infernities multiple times. And then 2 copies of Imperial Iron Wall. These are also used for Boojins, Eel Swans, Constellas, Mermails. I've even used it against. It just stops every kind of deck that I've gone up against, except for the Tiger King match that I went up against, which was a strange build of Fire Fists. Now I'll have to give out a big shout for Jamie the Kid 00 that gave me the idea for this build, but I did my own little twist on this. So, Prophecy of Yu-Gi-Oh! Signing out!